Hey everyone, and welcome to Blessings channel. Yes, that is what I called it. It's not very original, but whatever. Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's alright, you've had a good day. I wanted to get my channel started off with something personal. I know this may be a lot, like really heavy, and it's like my second video, but I feel like I want people to know me a bit more and see, like I want people to come on a journey with me, and I wanted to share a little part of my life with you. So basically, this is a story about how I got saved. What I said in my last video was true. I've been saved for 2 years now, since 2018. It's going to be 3 years in December, but that's like ages away, but whatever. So yeah, let's go. How do I even start this? Basically, okay, let's start there. I was born into, a Christian family, but it wasn't like, it was more of a white garment church type of Christian, if you know what I mean. Celestial, that's like the type of family I grew up in. It was very like hard rules and stuff. To be honest, I knew God was there. I knew, I prayed to him every night. There wasn't a time where I didn't believe in him, because obviously as I grew up Christian, and it was just something, I believed in God automatically. And but the thing is, I never really had a relationship with him. It was just more of kind of go to church and stuff. And the thing is, I didn't like church. The only thing I liked was the music, because I just never understood the sermons. And yeah, maybe because they're in Yoruba, whatever. But at the same time, I think my heart was not open to listen. So basically, it was just like I'd come into church, but like, oh my gosh, here we go again with church. I'd sit in the choir and I'd sing whatever, and I'd listen to it. They're saying, that's all right, blah, blah, blah. My heart was not open to any of the sermons they'd preached. I felt like I kind of just walked through life without seeing. I felt like I walked through life without like the blindfold on my face. And back then I was dealing with a lot of like mental issues and stuff. I just didn't like who I was, or I just didn't like my life at all. I just felt very unfulfilled. And it got to a point where like, let's say, so I got saved in like December 2018, like just after my 18th birthday. I don't know why, but it felt like such a hard time. I just felt so down and like gloomy, and it was so hard. I don't know if it was depression. I'm not trying to self-diagnose with myself before anyone comes for me, but it was like I just hurt, I was just so sad. Like my heart was just, I pretended to put on this nice face. I just felt alone, like, that I couldn't do anything at all. And like, I had some problems in my household and stuff. So a couple of weeks after my birthday in December, I left my house. I just went. I left my house and I asked my sister if I could come and live with her. And she said, yeah. And I will thank my sister for that. I will continue to thank my sister for that, because without her, I wouldn't have anywhere to live. I'd have to go all the way to London to my family. I didn't want my life to change so drastically. But it did change drastically, if you know what I mean. And I lived with her, and, it said, oh, yeah, I go to church on Sundays. It's like, all right, fine, ugh. And then I went to church, but the thing is, because of my McDonald's job, I had a McDonald's job at that time, and it was, obviously I agreed to work Sundays before then, so obviously I wasn't able to go to that many sorry, I wasn't able to go to that many Sunday services, so I went to the Wednesday one. And the first service I went to, the Wednesday one, it was basically, it was I think it was a good moment for me. Like, I went, obviously this wasn't like proper church, it wasn't like a proper church service, but it was Bible study. So I went into the Bible study thinking, oh gosh, here we go, sat in the front seat, and the pastor preached and talked about it, and I asked questions, and I thought, oh my days, like, I don't, weirdly enough, I don't remember what it was about, but he just, preached, and like people were asking questions and people being so open, and I thought, wow, like, I can relate to this. I can, relate to this sermon, and all these people are so nice, and I've never seen so many young people before, because in my last church, there were a lot of older people, and like, yeah, it wasn't a lot of, there was a lot of age gaps, but with this church, so many younger people that I can relate to, and I just felt so good. But obviously, I'm not the most social person, so I stuck with my sister the entire time. But yeah, like, and obviously, a couple of weeks into it, I was like, oh my days, I understand all of these sermons. Like, these sermons are like speaking to me. And then one day, after one sermon, he did the altar call. So if you don't know what an altar call is, when they ask if anybody wants to repent, or wants to be saved, or wants to come back. So I don't know, but something, like, I felt something in my spirit, so I had to like put my hand. I felt like I had to put my hands up, so I did. And then I went to the altar, and someone came and prayed for me, and I gave my life to God. And it was just as if, like, things just, like, it just took a blindfold off me. Like, I could see the world, and it was so amazing, because I never felt so close to God in that time. I just felt like, whoa, me and God are like, we're in this together. It was pretty amazing. And gosh, like, a couple of weeks after that, in January, I got baptized. Weirdly enough, my life got a bit harder, like mental stuff, because obviously, because I made this declaration that I'm saved. Like, the devil tried to attack me and stuff, but then I kind of, like, with the help of those people around me, with the help of everything, I kind of knew I was going to be okay. Like, I realized how much God had changed me, because a couple of years ago, if something happened to me, I'd just be like, oh my days, I'd never be okay, blah, blah, blah. I had such a bad mindset. And the fact that my mindset has changed so much, it can only be God, because I've been trying to do all these things, be a better person. At the same time, I was putting so much pressure on myself, and I realized I have to let God do, like, move in my life, which he really did. And obviously my testimony is not like, oh yeah, I was a druggie, I slept around, or I did all of this, and then boom, I'm holier than thou. No, it's more of my mental state and how I dealt with life. Because I sometimes, not gonna lie, still now, sometimes I struggle to deal with life, but knowing that God is there for me, and God can do anything, can get me through it. But back then, when I didn't know I could have God, it was just so bleak. As well as this, it's just, now I have changed so much for the better as a person, and I truly believe that's God. And in general, even when I'm not happy, I'm happier. I'm content. Like, I could never say, oh yeah, you know, even though in the worst times now, or good, bad times, I could say underneath it all, I am content because I have God. And I have a roof over my head, I've got everything. Even if I didn't have a roof over my head, I knew God has got me, you know? Whereas back then it was like, oh my gosh, no, it's the end of the world. So, yeah, it's been a journey. And I hope I continue to make this journey with God and I get to heaven. If you guys have like, you know, any questions or any queries about anything, you know, you could always comment down below, you know, if you have any questions, because I might have rambled on. So yeah, it was good. Yeah. But yeah, if one thing, if you want to take from this, is that not only God will, you know, change your circumstances, not like that, but it will happen, you know, in God's timing, because, you know, our time is not his timing, so, you know. But if you allow him, he will change your mindset. And I think that's even more powerful, because you could be down here, you could be in a dust fam, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be all right, you know, God's going to be there. Sometimes it is hard, but it's doable. But yeah, that's the one thing you're going to take from it. And if you're not saved, and if, you know, if this has stirred something in your heart, you could always, you know, contact me or whatever. I'd, you know, put comment down below, and I'll probably, you know, try and get to you, whatever. But yeah, I think if you're not saved, get saved, because God is real and Jesus is coming back. And if you want to, you know more about me, if you want to follow me on this YouTube journey, please subscribe and comment down below and like. Thank you. See you next time.